Sorry.
Good morning.
I guess it was on a loop. I don't know. Okay.
Whoa.
Sorry. Go ahead.
It always throws me for a loop when you add that extra loop in, Max.
What if we just what if we let it go like 6 times, man? Can you imagine how aggravated the people
So
would
we
be?
just start at like 10 minutes before we actually go live.
It's just
But
never
it says
know
30 seconds every time.
they never know when we're actually going to start. All right.
Like I was saying earlier this week, guys, we like to have fun on this stream. A reminder real quickly before I say anything else that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. But good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, the first day of February. It's honestly pretty surreal that we speed ran January as quickly as we did. Dare I say a little bit alarming even, but yeah, welcome to today's episode of Market Check, you guys, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Jackus, Max, Tucker, and Dr. Will's Outlook. Welcome, guys. I hope you've all had a phenomenal week so far. Just like it's kind of hard to believe that it's already February 1st, it's kind of hard to believe that it's already Thursday this week. But real quickly, guys, before we start cooking, before we start sharing that alpha, and we had some great alpha on yesterday's show, so if you haven't watched that back yesterday, would highly recommend doing that. We always appreciate when you guys smash that like button before we get started, and we probably won't bug you as much as we did today about it, but it does mean a lot to us when you guys destroy that like button, caress the like button, whatever verb that you have to use to justify placing your hand over the mouse and clicking the like
There's
button.
one on R.
Appreciate it. What was that, Jackus?
There's one word on R. That I often use.
Oh man,
I know what that word is. It's very aggressive.
4 letters.
Oh
Yeah. Man, today my dad was calling me and he was like, so, tomorrow we are meeting up, Aru up. And I was like, yeah, but that's on Friday. And he was like, yeah, today is Thursday. And I was like, what? And now I realize it's February already. I'm like, what? What happened?
It's crazy,
honestly, man, January flew by. I feel a little bit flat-footed here almost with how quickly that it went by. But
yeah,
I mean, I hope it's not like this all year, but I mean, if it does, it's probably a sign that conditions are pretty good, right? That the market is requiring you guys have seen that meme, right? Open interest needs you. I love that meme. It's like soldiers marching towards the war, and it's open interest needs you. But either way, guys, let's talk about some markets. Let's talk about some markets. Happy Thursday again. One final time before we start. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin, I guess, is still kind of the market as a whole really is still kind of digesting maybe you can call it the FOMC information that we got yesterday. Maybe you can just call it market unwinding positioning after FOMC. Either way, I think we're still kind of in the wake of Jerome Powell yesterday, whether that be, like I said, just from people reacting to it, or if you don't adhere to that really, people who were positioned into FOMC, it looks like at this point they were probably long into FOMC and that unwound after the event. So now we can maybe get more of a true read on as far as what the market's thinking. I still think Bitcoin, generally speaking, is ranging until it kind of proves us otherwise with probably a big candle. We're trading right at arguably the most important pivot in the entire range since we've been up here, right? I mean, 43K, give or take a few hundred points. I'm sure that you could pinpoint a different level if you really wanted to, but roughly speaking, 43K is currently capping price on Bitcoin. It's kind of where the really aggressive spot selling from Grayscale initiated in the week following the ETF launch. I just think it's a very big contextual level. So I continue to be curious as far as what Bitcoin will do around this price point. But from an intra-week rotation standpoint, altcoins have been honestly kind of a dream to trade lately. I mean, if you love to play quick rotations on alts, you know, the type that lasts like 1 or 2 days at a time. We've been getting some huge volatility in those markets, even though Bitcoin's moving in like a $3,000 range this week, which is pretty good for Bitcoin. You know, if it's not trending, but altcoins, man, I mean, they have been just a dream to trade. I mean, I think about there's been a lot of activity too, right? I mean, think about the Jupiter airdrop yesterday. Congratulations to everybody who got stimulus from that. I was coping a little bit because I didn't, but I will always respect the pump.
I was too, Tommy. I was too.
It's okay,
Shut up.
Tucker. We'll get the next Snapchat.
Yeah, we'll get them next time. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I just got lucky because I didn't know how to use any other swap on Solana.
Well, if I had known about Jupiter, I was using Radium initially, and I didn't even know Jupiter existed for the longest time. It's kind of funny, but yeah. So yeah, let's talk about Sol later on this show as well, too, guys, because I think the Jupiter catalyst is something to talk about, whether or not it's going to propel Solana potentially to new highs, or if that was the type of event that marks a local top. But enough with some intro on crypto. Equities pretty much beginning to eat up the dip that they had yesterday. I guess maybe not quite yet, but that's somewhat my expectation, that we probably revert back into new highs. But I mean, we are seeing some noticeable weakness from equities for the first time in a long time, or better yet, since that range that Tucker's pointing out right now. So something to note on the S&P that I was looking at yesterday, and I think is kind of interesting, guys, is that the moves off the bottom are getting more and more stretched, or at the very least, we've put in a high time frame 3 drive at this point off the low that we set in September or October. I'm not sure the exact month that we did it, but we have now officially put in 3 high time frame drives off that low. I think it's officially time to pay attention. That doesn't mean the top is in, and what you often see is a 3 drive followed by a deviant high to stop out all of the RSI divors. But for the first time in a few months, I think that the S&P looks somewhat attractive for downside. But I would love to know what you guys are thinking on that. I still think that individuals are poised to outperform as long as the S&P is trading above the all-time high. But yeah, welcome, guys. I think I gave a little bit longer of an intro than usual, but it is February 1st. I thought I would kick the month off right. I'd love to know what you guys are seeing in the markets. And I know I brought up a lot of topics in the intro today, but I think that many of them are very salient to the market at the moment.
You were cooking at the intro, Tommy.
He didn't even give us an appetizer. He just brought the main course.
I think he probably gets something like this. Honestly, it feels like this range is this range, and you just broke out. And I feel like you're probably at this first, potentially at this first little thing. I mean, it would be hilarious if they didn't give anybody 5K that like they were looking for, but I mean, I could see like this being it. You know,
Can you draw a horizontal
this
line
spot?
from the previous all-time high, Tucker?
Yeah.
Because I actually don't think we look super primed for downside. I think maybe we could make this a fake deviation. But I wouldn't be bearish until I see us accept back underneath the previous all-time high. So if we come back and just retest it, that's fine. But I think as long as you're above that white line, it's super bullish, honestly. I wouldn't fade price discovery.
I mean, you just don't want to see like this, right? You know.
No, I mean, going below it's fine. The thing you don't want to see is to go below and swing fail. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You do not want to see a price go below and swing fail. You'll want to see a swing before you actually take an exit position. So you'll want to see a break and then roll back up and retest the resistance. And if it shows resistance there, it's done. That's going to be cooked.
We closed the 2 week up here, so that maybe we closed the monthly up there too.
I wouldn't. I mean,
Tucker?
I could see us dipping back underneath like lower time frames, but again,
Tucker?
this looks super bullish to me.
What,
Tucker,
Jacket?
there's a request for you.
Want to see more hack? Oh, I know who that is.
Listen, someone is getting horny here.
Oh, my
Tucker, I think you
No.
should you should entertain the thing you just went to, where you just tried to run from it real quick before anybody
Yeah,
saw it.
yeah. That was that secret alpha. You just don't say anything, Will. You just bring it up and then you quickly move away. Yeah, man, this is what Will and everybody's been talking about. You don't want to see that. That's for sure.
You do not want to see that.
All right. Well, I mean, let's put it into context, though, Tucker. So I need you to pull up a couple things. If we're going to draw a circle like that, I need you to put up the
Oh.
effective federal funds rate.
Macro Max is back.
That's right. You prompted Macro Max. Click on the plus sign in the upper left corner for me. All right.
Oh, sure. At some point.
Come
yeah.
on, macro. Upper
Okay.
left.
Can I
corner.
can I at least clarify before we start talking about macro that I do not think that this is like the macro high time frame double top. I think if you do get a pullback, it's just that, and eventually you would probably trade all time highs again, either later this year or in 2025.
Yeah,
Max,
I mean, I think both things should be entertained here. I think, but we should discuss both scenarios. So
Hey.
you know, if one plays, people don't come back and be like, you guys didn't even talk about this.
I need one more, Tucker. Okay, I need you to put the unemployment rate down there as well. So one more plus in the upper left corner.
first of all, at first glance, this doesn't look like it's doing you any favors, brother. But
No, it absolutely does because no, it absolutely does. It absolutely does because
first
we're not
glance,
anywhere
but-
near cuts, and Powell made that clear yesterday. The probability of a March cut went down to like 30%, where before the meeting it was, I don't remember, it was a lot higher.
I think he's just talking about where we're elevated to, not necessarily that
So
we can't remain
So look
elevated.
at contextually how different this time period was. We were closer to cuts back in 2006 or whatever that was, 2007.
I mean, you're in the
Unemployment rate
danger
was-
zone,
But
right?
it looks the same.
You're not. You have
I'm not gonna lie.
multiple months. I mean, what if we don't get cuts all of 2024? And what if the labor market remains strong all of 2024?
Yeah,
I
mean,
will not relent until these two.
Will not
Until
relent.
these two. Until these two. I mean, we could even add on the yield curve there as well. I mean, look at what happened: the 10-year minus the 2-year. I mean, it's like
Max, you could be right on this 100%.
Max.
Nobody,
macro max.
nobody is saying that that's not a possibility. I think it just, it's kind of one of those areas where you just got to kind of watch out. That's basically, I think, more the gist here than it is, hey, this is gonna happen, guys.
Yeah. So look, I mean, it could be a few months.
Gun show.
Like you are probably in the danger zone, right? Like let's just, like
That's the thing. The more keep
Why
on
are
the
you
back
in
of
the
your mind
danger?
is to watch it.
Why are you in the danger zone though?
look at my boxes, Max.
No,
Look
I
at
know,
them.
but why are we in the danger zone right now? I see your boxes.
Well, you could stay in the danger
Well,
zone
I'm
for a
talking
long
about, like,
time.
Yeah, as well.
Probably
says.
on a 12-month time frame. You're in the
Yeah, that's
danger
what I'm talking about. So how much damage can be done to the upside in 12 months while we're in this danger zone?
A
Well, if
lot.
nothing happens, that's
A
the
lot.
problem.
Yeah.
A lot. So again, if
this
we
isn't like
stay,
saying, like-
Danger zone.
if the effective federal funds rate remains paused right here for another 9 months, 12 months, who even knows,
We
and
can hope.
unemployment remains below 4%, and the yield curve, the 10-year minus the 2-year, does not uninvert above 25 basis points, what are we talking about here, man? It's
No,
a melt
this is
face
just
type of
saying the
environment.
clock is ticking, Max. The clock is
Yes, correct.
It's 10 minutes to midnight. Okay.
It's still an hour to midnight.
Yeah,
Still an hour to midnight.
we got
yeah.
time, man. We just wrapped up dinner. We got cookies in
Listen.
the oven.
Do you guys remember back in I don't know, last fall or even prior to it, like after summer, I was saying, hey, we still need to go above all-time highs. When we do, what happens? We don't just go there. We need to create few weekly swings there. We need to create that sentiment. We need to put all the people from the money market funds back into the market to make them FOMO the top, to buy the bags of the insiders. Nancy Pelosi wants to dump on you. And she needs to convince you that you need to buy the top because
Dude, I saw the most obscene picture of Nancy Pelosi this morning. Did you guys see that? I'm sorry.
No.
I gotta try to find it. I was about to text it
Bro,
to you guys.
I'm
and I
gonna
was like,
make
I
some
can't.
AI generated pictures over.
It was, dude. It was the most obscene thing I've ever seen.
Like
And
on
I
a
was gonna
beach in a
send it to you
swimsuit with
guys, and I
money.
was like, I can't possibly have text receipts of me sending this picture. It's too. But I'm sorry. I just needed to know if you guys saw that as well. It was.
Yeah.
So
I-
at the end of the day, Jack, it's like you are correct, Max. You're correct. That's not. I guess that's not really the context that because me and Tucker have talked about this that we're trying to get into. It's more of like, hey guys, you still have opportunity. Everybody still has opportunity, but you have to watch this area because this, it could be months, it could be a year, it could be whatever, but at some point this thing's gonna play, and it's gonna play to somebody getting wrecked. Yeah, and they could play up here and trap people for a long extended period of time before they actually roll over, but if this thing rolls over here, that's gonna be bad. That's gonna like that's where people are like. For me, all this tells me, I'll give you context behind what this tells me. It tells me to stop playing with shitcoins. That's what it tells me. It tells me I need to back off shitcoins. I'm being a little bit overly, exuberant on shitcoins, and I need to start dialing into things that are not going to get hit as hard. Because shitcoins will probably get rugged if this ends up happening.
For sure. But like this, I feel like the unemployment rate is really all you need out of all of this, right? Because as soon as this thing gets above like even 4, that's when you're like more
Just get
so
out of
quote
everything,
unquote in
bro.
the
Just
danger
sell
zone. Yeah,
everything.
because like
It's
this
over.
doesn't happen. These drops don't happen unless you get rising unemployment. And
By the way, the first rate cuts are not inherently bearish. It's what's behind them. If you look at the first rate cut in 2019, Tucker, zoom way in for us. Go to
I've
like
been
the
what
one.
trails
streaming
them.
this, Max.
Go to
I've
the
been
1 day
streaming
for us.
this.
Go to the 1 day.
Wait, where? 2019, you said?
Yeah, go look at the last batch of rate. Yeah, until rate cuts can be bullish. Okay, look at what happened after the first batch of rate cuts. That was the blow off top. We got rate cuts and we had a blow off top, and then unemployment obviously skyrocketed because of COVID. But they could cut rates, and if unemployment remains sub 4% during the first batch of rate cuts, we can continue to go up. That's what people are ignoring as well. Rate cuts don't have to be bearish unless they're attached with other pieces of information, like a weakening labor market.
Yeah.
We do have some interesting stuff going on with regional banks right now. I'm not saying it's going to be anything serious, but I have kind of taken a mental note of some of the turmoil going on in the background this week.
Yeah, but Tommy, do you think banks matter when they can just backdoor QE banks? And I don't care if people think that it's
That
QE or
ends in
not.
March.
I think it just matters about the market's perception of it, Will.
I guess not that it ends, Max, but more that the fact that they came out with some bullshit like that and gave themselves the ability to do that. That's
They
not a
gotta
free
pay
market.
it back, bro. They gotta pay all that back.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. That they should have collapsed. Any business that couldn't support themselves financially should have collapsed. And some people may not agree with that concept, but that's what a free market does. A free market collapses the weak and allows the strong to survive.
I know.
And
So
to
that rent is now due. They have to pay that. They took loans last year, and now they're
they
due.
should not have had the ability to take loans.
No, I agree. But I'm just saying, like in March, that now comes due.
You know how they're going to pay it back, Tucker? TLT. And TLT to me looks like it's headed back to the lows.
Yeah.
Tucker, do you know what's also due?
The like button.
The like button is due, guys. We have lots of people joining now, and guys, if you are enjoying this daily dose of alpha, the least you can do is smash the like button and help us grow, right? Because that's what it is. And also, I gotta say, we got some guy, Super Saiyan Ron Paul. I do not really want to attach that comment, but I do not know even what it is for. But I appreciate anyone supporting Ron Paul, because I still think that was the best candidate you guys had for president. Libertarian. It's such a shame he didn't win, but yeah, nice to see. And this one, right?
God,
from Danish.
Max.
This is the truth, man. This is the truth. You can go to some other crypto, influencer YouTube stream and watch them literally just draw like 4-hour bull flags that probably don't play out, or you can come here and actually learn something.
Exactly.
The underpinning of everything we do is education. We're here to teach. That's what we're doing.
We
We're not
are,
shilling you
Max,
some indicator that doesn't work. We're shilling you a Discord that works, but again, it's more just education
Well,
like
hang
this.
on now, Max. Hang on now.
This guy.
Let's
He
take
was
Look
a
at
look.
the
referring-
super
it was-
sniper, man.
referring to the Nancy photo.
Did you see that Super Saiyan Ron Paul? Did you see that picture of Nancy Pelosi? Do you know what I'm talking about? I saw it this morning. I don't know who tweeted
The
it.
Nancy photo. That's
It was
funny.
the most egregious thing that I've maybe ever seen. It was clearly AI generated, but I was gonna send it to the BB team, and I was like, "Man, I own this company. I can't be caught sending this picture."
Can you
my
repeat
guys,
how
that's
you
not
said
okay.
how you said his username, Max?
Super Saiyan.
No.
I just
Super
needed
Saiyan.
to. Not a Dragon Ball Z guy.
Am I a boomer?
A little bit.
I don't ever
But
want to
that
hear
show's
anything
been
again.
out since we were kids.
Yeah, I
Dude,
don't
I
want to
don't
I
hear
just think it's funny.
anything
I'm just giving you crap.
on
No,
ever
no,
on
it's fine.
PayPay. Now you got to say PayPay moving forward. Okay?
All right, Will's my guy now. I'm with Will. Me and Will are boomers. Fine.
All Might's got you, Max.
Dude, I know who All Might is.
Who's
I
that
know
guy?
who All Might is, man. The gigaist of Giga Chads, man, is All Might. The Giga Chad amongst Giga Chads. Say in.
Yeah. I mean the alpha we're providing this morning is just us trying to give you guys a concept. So if this hits and it ends up coming to fruition, we're the only people probably telling you. We're super bullish on the market, but like this is something to definitely pay attention to. Scenario of that needs to
Are
be
you
kind
talking
of
about
watched.
this, Will? Are you talking
The
about the
monitoring,
sniper?
yes, the monitoring of that area.
I'm just gonna tell you guys this. I am long as fuck everything risk until unemployment is above 4%. Long as fuck. I don't know how much more clear I can be because that's the only thing that is going to send us down realistically. If people still have jobs, our economy is still healthy. Businesses are still
Max,
thriving. Their valuations could potentially be slashed, which is what we saw last year. But ultimately, there won't be any major intervention as long as our labor market is strong. Just
Max,
throw up the unemployment rate and stay long as fuck until 4%.
Let's be clear on the unemployment though. It's not if they have jobs, it's if they're claiming unemployment because they're fearful that they can't get a job, right? Like
so we could look
the
at
important
claims
part.
too. But I mean, the thing is, if you overlay, initial claims versus unemployment rate, they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. But you want them to align. That's what I'm stating. If they're not aligning, then there's something else going on there. It could be a rotation of just employees from one sector to another. It could be a rotation of people that have a lot of liquidity, so they don't
Damn,
feel they need
Tucker.
unemployment.
We are in sync, brother. We do that a lot.
I know.
That's weird. Tucker and I are like totally synced up, man. The amount of times that we battle over like clicking the same button and it undoes it.
It's wild.
It's wild.
I think that unemployment is a very good indicator, but you still need price action as always to follow up. If you do not have that, then it's not clicking.
I agree, but I bet you could do some weird experiment with this if you only bought and sold the S&P and the only chart you looked at was the unemployment rate over the last 50 years. I bet you did pretty well.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
man.
The thing is with the macro guys or the bearish guys is they're gonna come out the second this actually I don't think that it's not gonna come to fruition. It could end up higher lows than lower lows. But the second it comes to fruition, they're gonna say I told you, even though they've been wrong for 2 years straight.
Yeah,
bro, we're gonna go to
totally.
6,000 and then we're gonna nuke and they're gonna go, I told you. Ugh.
That's legit. Some people on crypto that has been calling for the bear market since 4K after COVID.
Do you know how happy some people I follow were when we nuked from 49 to 38? It was like
Yeah.
the best day ever, man. It was
Yeah.
like their child was born,
Oh man.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, Max. They're not shorting because if they were shorting, they'd be completely broke right now. So
Dude,
they're just
making
hoping on something to
$100.
happen.
Yeah, I mean they make $100 a month from Elon stimmy checks. That's literally what they're doing, man. They're not even real like players in the market. It's
Hey,
pretty
listen,
funny.
I need a alpha help here. Okay, so what I would love to do is if you can actually take an unemployment and measure a percentage change compared to, past period. Is there like an indicator or some way to set it up? Because I think this could be helpful a lot to use
Like
for the
month
market.
over month and year over year change.
Something like that. Like we could set up a period, right? Like I don't know, the last like the percentage change over the past 10 months or something. And in my opinion, whenever we would see like a rapid rise in it, because sometimes you get these upticks in unemployment, but that happens even during the bear market, right? Like since 2008 or to be specific 9, going all the way to 2019, right? So you had bear market in unemployment, but you occasionally got few percentages upticks, right? It wasn't until like COVID, until March, or like from February to March, when you got an uptick that was good. And same way prior to the 08 crisis, right? So like if there is some way to measure a percentage change compared to the past period, right? So we can
Mhm.
so we can actually see when there is a decent change to that, rather than like just a like a small correction in the
I got you.
downtrend of unemployment. Yeah.
Whoa.
I got you. It's not here. I'm actually going on Mr.
Whoa.
Cowan's website, but he's got month over month, quarter over quarter, year over year unemployment. This is what you were talking about?
Something like that. I would obviously have to play with this to set up sort of like the decent period time, because I do not know what it is like compared to the past year, compared to the past 6 months, or maybe like can be like completely random number, right? It doesn't have to be like a year or something. Just
Uh,
past period basically, and the percentage change.
Past year. So yeah, this is the year over year rate of change for unemployment, and then the
Do we have?
blue line behind is the S&P 500.
Yeah.
Quarter over quarter, month over month.
Could be
Anyways,
something like that. Yeah.
you're back, Tucker.
Oh, I was just scrolling around.
Yeah,
So ETH, man, might have put the shoulder in.
I
Try this.
think
Let's try.
I think at the end of the day, here's kind of some context to the conversation, because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this. If you've been in the market, right, since the lows, and the market completely nukes from here, I highly, highly, highly doubt you're going to see lower than your entry positions. Um, and that's the important context that a lot of people don't talk about when they talk about the bearish narrative. It's like, how much has the market rose against where you think you can come back to if this thing completely nukes? And if you think it's going to go to 12K, hey, then you think it's going to go to 12K. Great. Okay. I think you live in a fairy tale land. But if you think it's going to pull back like 50% or 60% based on some kind of systemic risk, you're probably well above where you could have bought if you just shut up and stopped being bearish and being a little crybaby and acting like you have more than $500 in the market.
I mean,
And
markets need
that's
a
mostly
reason to
on
go
macro
down,
guys.
man. Markets don't need a reason to go up. They need a reason to go down. And
Yeah.
I don't really see the reason right now to go down, And I guess sometimes it's difficult to identify, but I'm not seeing it right now. I'm just simply not.
If people are scared to enter here, I get it. If you've been sidelined the whole time, I get it. That makes sense, right? Like that's your own problem at that point. But if you've been in the market and this thing goes down, you're like, oh, see, I told you. It's like, bro, like I'm still way up because I wasn't stupid at the bottom.
Did you guys just see that? What I just did?
The Tucker Nachis.
That was unfathomable. Look at that.
Oh my.
From 2019, just You
Oh
would
my.
have shorted the absolute tippy top, man.
And guys, before
Boom.
we get further into the Tucker Nachi lines, guys, here's the deal. I have to bargain with you for some likes here. All right, we got 90 people watching on YouTube. We have 57 likes. Yesterday, when we were pushing the likes hard, we got like an extra 40% likes on the video, which translated to more eyes on it later, which translated to more subscribers for us. So I'm sorry, I have to do it again, guys. I have to
And
do it again.
subject is alpha at the end for you guys.
That's right. Jackus is going to deliver something for you, but we're going to hit the same goal as yesterday, guys. If you are enjoying the content, please just take one quick moment. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. One quick moment. If you've enjoyed the content so far, and hit that thumbs up button for us, guys. It really does wonders. If you don't believe me, go look on our channel, go to the live section and look at the likes yesterday versus the previous 2 streams, and then look at the view count. All right. It actually makes a big difference. So if you guys want to help us out, which I know you do because you show up. We love doing this every day. You guys love watching every day. All we ask is you just take one quick moment away from the charts and just hit that thumbs up button for us, guys. It really helps us out. We appreciate you guys so much for being here and supporting us every single day. And same as yesterday, if we get to 120 likes on YouTube, Chef Jackus is going to dump some alpha on you guys at the very end. So please, guys, again, just take one quick moment. Hit that thumbs up button for us. If you have a second account, log into that second account, hit the thumbs up button for us, guys. There's no reason we shouldn't be at a 1-to-1 like ratio, guys. It's that simple. It doesn't cost anything to be here and watch this stream. We're here 5 days a week, dumping alpha on you guys. All it takes is 5 seconds. That's a very, very fair ask and very, very fair exchange. We dump alpha on you. You smash and abuse that like button. That's all that we ask. All right, Tucker, what you got for us?
Somebody wanted us to look at FET, so I took a look at FET.
Fat long.
Yeah, it had been using this line as SR. Jeez, the orange juice really got in my throat there.
Must be the pulp.
Dude, it is. This is the freshest orange juice you can get. I squeezed it myself. Anyways, lots of radium in there. Anyways, respect. You lost it. You know, I would expect you to come back down here. I set up a little non-financial advice short position, obviously. You know, I think you probably come back into like 0.48s if I had to guess, but that's what I think on
I'm not gonna
FET.
lie, Tucker. That reminds me of Ethereum. How many times it's Cheeto and adored the trend, and then just ripped off of it.
What do you mean?
Like every time it comes back to trend and it just goes. Like every time everybody's like, "Oh, it's over, guys! Look, it's right there. Just poke through the trend, and then it just rips right back through." No, not there. I mean, like if you go high time
Yeah,
frame, zoom out, go on the
bearish.
big trend.
Bearish.
Dude, I actually think ETH looks kind of good here.
It does. It looks
Like
really good.
it
Here.
looks like it's really struggling to break down. Like it looks like the Bears were in control at 2,500 and above. They shot it down, but they have no gusto. So even take that further left, brother. Take that line
No,
and
let
just,
me help you out here, Max.
you're right. That's probably all we need.
That's all you
That's
need.
what I'm seeing is a failed breakdown. Like I saw the Bears have their opportunity. You might have to put it in log just so we can see it a little bit better.
What, $300?
Yeah, I mean, the Bears had their chance. Like this was their chance to smash us through 2,200, give us a weekly close below there, 2,100, something like that,
And then roll it over.
But it looks like to me a failed breakdown. This looks like a very clear range breakout, and the Bears tried to make it a deviation of that range high, and it to me looks like it's really struggling to break down at this point. So maybe we spend some more chopping around here, but I wouldn't make the case. I wouldn't feel comfortable shorting into this level. I really wouldn't.
No. Yeah, that's what I was talking about with Bitcoin the other week, Max, when we were discussing. I was like, this is shorting support. I was like 37, 38, 39, 40K. I was like, that's shorting support. I'm like, you got to let this thing fail break before you can come in with a short position, which means it's got to come back up, it's got to retest, and it's got to roll. And with Ethereum, they could definitely keep rolling it down a little bit more underneath the trend here, but the overall, you got to fail. And I don't think you're gonna fail here on ETH. ETH looks really strong on the really high time. If you put on the monthly, you got a dozy that looks like it wants to blast off.
Well, dude,
right on that
ETH
level.
is the reason that I'm somewhat in the case of this cycle is a bit expedited because look at this. Like where
Yeah.
like do people really think we're in February of 2020? Like
They
No,
do.
we're not.
no.
We're so not though.
Dude,
We're not,
we're
but
clearly
people
here.
think so.
We're clearly here. It couldn't be more obvious, I think, but
I would agree. Yeah,
I agree.
I would absolutely agree.
you know, so what comes next? Bang.
COVID 2.0.
Yeah. Where would we be like right
Apparently.
here? Yeah.
I mean, what about the possibility that we print the pre-COVID PA with no COVID candle, because that's not really replicable?
No, 20K imminent, Tommy. No, okay, what? So this?
Yeah, you or that you already did do that, and that you could see downside, but we have no idea what it looks like because it would have been what the market would have done without COVID.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Look at these shitcoins getting wrecked right now.
Jackus,
Yeah,
are you in the
destroyed.
control account?
Control? What do you mean?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
What
Yeah, you can.
shitcoins are you talking about, Jagus?
You can pull out Tommy, bro.
Okay,
Make a
'cause
check.
I'm gonna log on to that one.
Like, what do we think this would have done? Like, I just blocked out COVID, right? But
That's actually cool.
Don't kick this account,
Oh.
Max. Don't kick this account. I want to pop in real quick.
What are you talking about?
Hold on. Talking about this,
Oh, you're switching your account. Okay.
but don't kick this one because I'm still using it. But I just wanted to pop in just for a second and just kind of show like my thoughts on ETH, just for like 2
Please.
seconds.
Please.
Because I think like a lot of people are not really. I didn't mean to just straight steal it, but I guess I did.
It's not
but-
called stealing, it's called pulling a Tommy. You know that.
Whoa, how did he do that? Who gave Will admin powers?
Because for BB Academy videos, I needed to make him an
man.
admin,
You made a
man.
grave mistake.
Now everybody on here has admin. It's
Oh,
over.
You made
no.
a serious mistake. Not as serious as you.
So
man.
if you look at ETH here, like this is honestly like look at where we're at. And I took this fractal. Look at this. Drop, run, drop, run. I took this fractal from right here all the way up. And look at that.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that, Will. I've been fractaling that same area. Like we basically had the COVID drop. The last drop that we had, it wasn't as pronounced and dramatic as the COVID drop, but basically that last drop that we had in September was effectively our COVID drop. You know, where ETH was like hanging off of a cliff. You remember we were watching that live, Jackus and I think Tucker and maybe Tommy. I remember Jackus literally
Yeah.
being like, "I'm watching them destroy one of my favorite assets or something." And then it just immediately swung fail that low at 1550 and then has gone straight up since.
It's
what?
literally it's to a T, Max. Look at this. It literally
Yeah.
swung, fell in the same area, rolled back down, sitting here playing the low like before. And I think this is gonna rip off of this. Man, look, I'll move it out of the way. Look, same peak high. Look, same peak high. Like you can't make this shit up. It's almost like somebody's playing the same market 2 times over. And if this plays out, like people talking shit about ETH, they're gonna get taught a lesson real quick.
That usually happens, man.
Because this thing's gonna literally just absolutely. And do you know what'll happen to shitcoins, Max? If this happens, all the shitcoins I'm in, honey,
They're gonna go crazy.
I'm gonna be a millionaire again and again and again and again. And that's what people don't get. Like you don't even need large position in these. and like this thing pops off on an altcoin or a shitcoin, and you're 10,000 to a million. Like this is in 2021. This is like literally how I did it, man. Like I had one call that like literally, I think it was 30K to almost 350K. And this is what people miss. People miss these type of moves because they're so focused on one area or so focused on one thing that they're ignoring the other things around them, and they're not looking for opportunity, right? They're looking to chase versus opportunity. I'm willing to sit. I'll sit. I think there's lots of opportunity on you. It's just people are ignoring the obvious thing in the room.
It's still one of my biggest bags. I would agree with you. Totally.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even telling people like, hey, you gotta buy ETH. I'm saying, hey, I buy shitcoins on ETH. Right? And
What
what I
is
mean by
going on?
that is, oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No, it's sometimes really hard because I do not know if because there is this
No, you're
lag
good.
and I do
No,
not
go
know.
ahead. Go ahead. I'm just kind of rambling.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask like what is going on the maker market because it's keeps going up.
Maker with
You're
hat.
so funny.
MKR.
Maker MKR, yeah.
Maker
Okay.
is so funny, man. That this coin got another.
Yeah, but let's look at Maker. And then I wanted to talk about Link too, because I know you were talking about that the other day, Jackus, and it's I think it's following what it's done. But we can get into Maker first. Just MKR, right?
You just type it.
Yeah, we'll just do it.
Probably.
There we go. We got that one. You're talking about, oh, dude, Maker does this every cycle, man. It's stupid. Look. Like, I don't know why people are always getting, I don't know if it's the yield or like what they're offering, but every single cycle, this thing pumps on, pumps hard. You also got this too. I think this is really important context. I know a lot of people may not see it as important. I do. But that's this right here. I always look for these. For me, this thing's just gonna keep going. And it's gonna fill the whole thing.
You
And
you think it's going to all-time highs?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do. You got the set, you got RSI basically colluding with my thesis, which means that you're not extremely overbought like here, right? Like when this market gets FOMO'd, it gets FOMO'd. It's just gonna be a cup on the RSI, it's gonna be a W on the chart. I just don't know if it exceeds all-time highs. That's where I kind of come into question.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's not respecting any altcoin dumps. It's holding very well. It's definitely something to watch.
Yeah, this is one of those ones, man. But like, you got to look at your game potential here too. It's like you can get some gains, but like if your expectation is mine, which is you're going to all time highs, you're looking at like 228 into the bull run, Pico. You know, you could sit here and range for a relatively long period of time. Because if you look at Maker, like once it starts getting up into these ranges, it should start like realistically consolidating. If it doesn't, then I'll come into question that it's going to go above, right? If it just continues to chat and doesn't consolidate in here at all, then it's going to consolidate much higher. In which case, you gotta expect some kind of fib play, and if that's going to be a fib play, I'll just run it from top to bottom of where we are, and you're looking at some obscene number.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ultimately, like, from a fundamental perspective, I'm very bullish on really anything DeFi. I think that I think one of the bigger plays this next cycle is going to be Bitcoin DeFi. So some of these Bitcoin L2s will do really well, because one of the inherent issues with crypto is coming up with a safe way to access your liquidity. And I mean, that's deterred a lot of people, and it's been a problem for me where, if I've got an equity, brokerage account, I can easily just borrow against my, my equity portfolio for my broker at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6% interest only and pay back that note as sort of a revolving line of credit. with crypto, there hasn't been that safe of a way to do it. There's been obviously companies like Celsius and BlockFi that have worked on it, but I'm very bullish on like AAVE and Maker. I don't know if I really love like the tokens. I mean, what's the big incentive to hold AAVE or Maker? I don't really know. I read into the tokenomics of AAVE and it was kind of like, I don't even know why I would hold this.
Governance, Max. Governance.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great, but like I think
It's
I
an
can
entry
outperform.
to be part of the VIP club.
Bro, I
Yeah,
would
no, literally.
never pay for that.
But it's like, dude, the fact that they survive, all of them survived the bear market, you know, Maker and AAVE, and I still have money in AAVE that's been sitting there all bear market, and I was like, well, I hope it doesn't rug because like I'm not going to pay this back right now, and it survived, and now that the market's healthier, I've added collateral to it, and it's a fantastic experience. You just deposit your ETH, and you get access to cheap and instant liquidity. I mean, I can get, you know, a USDC loan against my ETH in AAVE instantly at a sub, I think 5% interest only rate, which I don't even have to make payments on it, just to cruise, right? So I'll pay it back at the end. I can send those stable coins to Coinbase and literally put up to like $50,000 of instant transfers to my bank account. I can have USDC liquidity into spendable cash in my bank account in under 3 minutes. I swear to God. It's a fantastic experience. So it's like I'm really bullish on anything that's like survived last bear market in terms of ETH DeFi, and I think there's going to be a resurgence of it for sure. Really, really bullish on it.
ETH is actually one of very, very tiny coins that is continuously going up against BTC through 2 bear markets, and there is only, I think there is only Doge that has managed to do it, right? And I think that's kind of crazy.
This is kind of my thoughts on Bitcoin. I put this up a while ago, but it's going to be one of these two scenarios. Bitcoin rolls, comes back down to the lows and rips, or Bitcoin rips here. Like, I don't see any other option. I know a lot of people are expecting to come back to trend, but a lot of people, they never see this coming, and it's this, right? In the trend. And really, that's what I think we're going to kind of see here is this in the trend before we see any type of breakout. And if you look at halving and how it lines up with this, it's almost ideal, right? Like, what's your halving? May? Something like that?
Our halving's in April 22nd is
So,
the
yeah,
estimated date.
if you look here, that's just past your halving.
Yeah.
So the lineup is perfect. And that's what I've been trying to tell people. Like, you're probably going to see more of this than you're going to see of some kind of moon move.
But dude, I really think that we're gonna pressure. I think you'll see 50. I think you'll see above 50K in Bitcoin before the halving, and that doesn't mean we won't come back down to these levels. But I'm seeing a setup for like 53 to 55K before the halving. Maybe
Yeah,
not
I've
all
got-
time high, but I see
I've
this
got
range
52.
expanding. I see this range expanding. I think there's a lot of very comfy shorts above 45K, and I think they're going to get squeezed, and they'll have to reshort 53, 55.
Yeah, if you look at, go ahead.
There's
You're
quite a
good.
demand. There's quite a demand for Caspa in the comments.
I know, but did you see my comment? I said Will and I need to go to couples therapy to
Yeah,
work
I
through our
love-
Caspa
I love-
issues first.
No,
I
you can talk about Casper. It's all good. I won't say nothing. I'll be quiet, guys.
Will, but I don't want to ask you to bite your tongue either. If you've got a thought, I want you to be unapologetically yourself. That's what makes you great. So maybe Will and I are in contact with a therapist. We're gonna sit down with him. And we're gonna talk through our issues with Caspa, and we're gonna work through. I could talk about Caspa if you guys want, but I mean, I did give most of my thoughts last time, and not a whole lot has changed. But I mean, I'd be happy to go over it again briefly.
We can go over it fundamentally. I suppose that's what the guys want to hear.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, let me pull a Tommy and steal the screen then.
Wow, man.
Tommy did it one time.
He loves hearing that.
He's just like, wow.
It's perpetually over for Tommy,
Wow.
man.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, man. So So I've been watching this for a while. Basically from our first major pullback that we had on Caspa. And I'm not including these, right? Because I mean, this is, in my opinion, you take it off log scale. This right
No,
here
no,
is like,
no, Max.
we what?
Fundamentals, not price.
Oh, you want to talk fundamentals?
Yeah.
Did they say fundamentals? I didn't see that.
I
I said I see. Can you boys look at Caspa?
Oh, okay.
We could talk fundamentals too. I mean, I'm not the best guy for. I know some of the fundamentals for sure, but
The weirdest thing about Caspa community is that they always be like, look at the fundamentals. And then I'm like, what are the fundamentals?
all right,
Nobody answers.
let's talk about the
Never,
fundamentals.
never,
Let's
not a
talk about the
single
funda-
guy.
All right, let's talk about it then. Let's talk about it.
Price has
I-
gone up.
I
Fundamental.
am
Yeah,
the
that's the fundamentals.
Sorry.
I know enough of the fundamentals for sure. I wouldn't call myself like, top tier fundamental analyst. I'd say I lean more into the technicals, as you guys know. But the quick summary would be it was a fair launch. By that, in the very beginning, there was only CPU and GPU mining. And the intent behind that was basically they didn't want a bunch of Bitcoin miners or like existing mining companies to have a leg up on the average person. And they could just, basically repurpose a lot of like their mining operation to mine Caspa. And just dominate the market. So everybody had a fair shot to mine it in the early days. Like during this period right here, fair launch, CPU, GPU mining. There was no influencer like, hey, we're gonna give this influencer 5% of the supply to shill it. Like it was a fresh start. Like it was very similar to Bitcoin in that sense where it was released. Everybody had the opportunity to mine it on their computers. And nobody was able to just effectively dominate the market because of an existing operation. Additionally, their team is lights out. So I'm going to butcher his last name. Jonathan, some Polominski, I think is how you pronounce it. Forgive me if I didn't say it correctly. He's been basically cited and is well respected by a lot of guys like Vitalik has mentioned his work. Charles Hoskinson mentioned his work. The list goes on where basically Caspa is sort of his baby, and he's been touted and recognized within sort of this crypto founder OG community, and is extremely well respected. So on top of this being a fair launch where everybody had the opportunity to get into it equally and accumulate, and nobody was given anything, there was no supply held back, for the team, for certain community members. It was extremely fair. It was launched the exact same way as Bitcoin. The man behind it is super, super legit. Okay, bet on the people. So I guess on top of that, right, they're running right now one block per second, and testnet 10 blocks per second. So it's an extremely fast peer-to-peer sort of cash network. Unironically, right, if you read the Bitcoin white paper, this is kind of, it's a little cringe, but there is some truth to it. It is unironically more Bitcoin than Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin right now is digital gold, it's digital property. I'm not arguing Cas was better than Bitcoin, but Bitcoin was intended, according to the white paper, to be a peer-to-peer network, like a payment rail, digital cash. And that's not what it ended up being. And that's not a problem necessarily. But if you align these two projects side by side, Caspa actually could arguably check more boxes than Bitcoin if you tried to fit it into the white paper puzzle. So fundamentally, again, I'm really bullish because you don't have that inherent risk of like a rug pull. You don't have the inherent risk of like rolling back the blockchain. You don't have inherent risks of like VC and influencer dumps and shills. You have a really strong community, similar to the Bitcoin community, right? Like just because you're really pro Caspa doesn't mean you're anti Bitcoin. I'm pro Caspa because it shares and improves upon the properties of Bitcoin. That's not arguing it's better than Bitcoin, but it's different and it touches on a lot of things that Bitcoin currently doesn't. And Caspa actually would work much better as a peer-to-peer payment rail, and sort of digital cash. So fundamental, that's kind of like a quick breakdown, but that's why I fundamentally feel really confident in it. From a technical perspective, again, I look at this right here. I say this was your first major pullback. We take a fib retrace from, you know, this high to this low, first major swing high to first major swing low. All of this right here was, you know, effectively like vertical accumulation or like a bullish accumulation pattern. And, you know, expanding this out, we've got our 1.618, 2.618, 3.618. This 1.618 right here, guys, and I can make this font a little bit bigger for you guys to see. This has been concrete. You know, will it continue to hold? We were talking about it before the show. Some of us think yes, some of us think no. I think it's going to continue to hold. We're also putting in a nice little sort of normie bull flag right here. So I think if you get anything near, you know, 9 cents flat, that's a shove spot for me. I mean, I've already been shoving in here. Like whenever we get down into this region, like right around here, I've been just shoving. So yeah, I mean, I'm aggressively accumulating up here. I suppose it's possible we put in some sort of move, you know, like this, like a fake out, and then we move up. I don't really care. The truth of the matter is buying Caspa is a complete pain in the ass, guys. Like it's not on many, you know, I'm talking about spot now. It's not on many centralized exchanges. It's very, very difficult to buy, especially if you're here in the US. And you know, following up on that, it's extremely difficult to sell, you know? So it's like, I don't even think we've started yet with Caspa. Like once we start seeing it listed on a bunch of major centralized exchanges, then we can talk about there being a top. But right now, like the people that own Caspa are not interested in selling. And if you look at the wallet distribution, you have big wallets, guys, with 6 figures plus starting at like $100,000 plus accumulating, while the smaller wallets have been selling in this range. So it's, I mean, I can't be more bullish on this project, and I can't feel more comfortable, unbothered, moisturized, flourished, and in my lane holding Caspa because of the integrity of the project. And that's a big thing for me. I own plenty of shit coins that, in my opinion, don't have much of a backbone. It's just hype. It's influencer driven hype. But the integrity of this project and the people leading it and how it was launched, every step of the way, they've done everything appropriately. So I feel very confident throwing big money at this project. It's one of my biggest bags. I think it's going to go well past $1. I think sometime around the Bitcoin halving, you're going to see it 3x from here at least. But yeah, I mean, that's a quick kind of fundamental splash. And also just from a technical perspective, I think this 1.618 is concrete as of right now. And I'm aggressively accumulating, but you know, look, whatever happens, happens. But at the end of the day, the chart looks good, and I feel comfortable betting big on a project that I deem to have very low risk of rug and, you know, very low risk of founder, I guess, misappropriation and some sort of unethical, you know, I don't even know, just doing something the wrong way. So, I mean, I feel comfortable with it, you know. I feel very, very comfortable with it. And you know, I think it's even more bullish how difficult it is for people in the US to buy. You have to go really through like Uphold right now. And to do Uphold, it's like ultra KYC. You have to send like face pictures in. Every single time you do a withdrawal, you have to send face pictures in. The orders don't fill very easily. You always pay a huge premium on it. It's a pain in the ass to buy and get off of the exchange into cold storage. I don't see the wealthy US people that are accumulating here quickly selling their bags on a drop. Actually, the opposite. I would put myself in that category. Every time we pull back a little bit, I fit that demographic. I am a above average, slightly above average, wealthy US person in their upper 20s, low 30s. There's no fucking chance I'm selling my Caspa on a dip to 8 cents if it ever went there again. It's not happening. It's too much of a pain in the ass, and I've got a high time frame outlook on it. So I think there's a storm coming. I think a lot of people are still sleeping on it. They're sleeping on the fundamentals. They're sleeping on the technicals. They're comparing it to things that I think are not relevant. So yeah, anyways, it's a really, really solid project, and I'm making a huge bet on it. So I don't have as much money as I would like in it quite yet, but I mean, just wait. When this thing gets listed, and by the way, when exchanges want to start listing this, they don't go to like the Caspa Foundation to get a bunch of free tokens and stuff like that. They literally have to speak with Caspa miners or Caspa whales. and they have to make OTC deals, and then they list them on their exchange, and then they can offer them to their clients. They have to go to the open market to purchase Caspa. This isn't like some VC, oh, well, we've got 10% of the supply sitting here, to distribute to exchanges, and then exchanges can dump them on, their customers when they got them at a discount. Exchanges are in the same ballpark as me. They have to go to open market to buy this thing, and it's difficult for them to find it and buy it. Trust me. So the storm is coming, guys. The storm is coming. That's it. I just cooked. That's it.
Lovely, Mr. Chef.
Delicious
Thank you.
meal.
Thank you. What are the comments saying? Am I getting some questions here? Any Will's Outlook supporters in here coming at my neck?
Oh, it's all right, man. You could be bullish on that. I mean, I know people that bought Doge.
Will, did you listen to what I just said?
Will,
I want to actually, did you listen to what I just said? Because I made some good points, Will.
No, I mean, fundamentally, I get the concept. It's I guess at the end of the day, with the project, can they drive enough demand to force, and I say force, exchanges hands to want to buy it, right? To want to be a part of it, because the way most exchanges work today, outside of Bitcoin, is they want you to supply a token and then supply liquidity pool. And if you're not able to do that, then they're not interested in your project. So we'll see if Casper can pressure them, but ultimately that's how it'll work.
Caspa is in its first cycle, so it will run regardless whatever happens. The real question is then what happens after, right after this cycle, and how it does behave afterward, because like there is always hype in each new cycle. All of these alts print insane multiples. Then it's revolutionizing the world, right? And I think there's a good comment, from one of the guys, the KDA, Cadena, right? Comparisons are troubling though. So I heard so much stuff about Cadena in the past cycle as well. And then the Cadena guys said, yeah, but Cadena is not like all these other shitcoins. Like, how dare you compare this to Cadena, right? And so forth. And
he's not lying though. I did hear the same thing with Cadena in last cycle. Like
we did.
That's
That's exactly like we are speaking here from experience. So I'm bullish regardless on Caspa this cycle. I like that it's proof of work. I think proof of work is still the superior mechanism. Actually, today I heard that it's being mined in Dubai, by the way, which is interesting too. But alongside BTC and a few other altcoins. But and yeah, Caspa is gonna do amazing this cycle regardless. It's a no-brainer. That said, but like before I'm comfy hodling it longer than that, I want to see how it does during the bear market and after it in the next one, because that's really when this true stress test come.
You hit the nail on the head, Jack. That's exactly my thoughts too. If I would be more interested in the bear market, because we've seen a ton of Bitcoin forks come and go, right? Gain interest and then lose it, and it's difficult to gauge these for me until they hit a bear market and then see what their strength really is.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I mean, you guys don't have to buy it. I don't care. Like, I think it's going to do well this cycle.
Max,
I feel comfortable.
wait. Did you listen what I just said?
Yeah. Which part? What are you talking about?
I said I'm incredibly bullish on it this cycle, and
you said you'd rather wait till next cycle, right?
No.
You didn't say that?
Not at all.
I thought you said you'd rather wait to see how it does in the bear market.
I said I want to see how it does in the next bear market to hodl it. But I didn't say I'm not going to play this one.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
I'm definitely like buying Caspa because, and I already have, to be honest, I have outperformed most of the holders since I discovered the coin, to be honest, which is something pretty amazing. I had one short on it that I closed in a tiny loss, and then I bought right before that triangle breakout. Then I rebought again and sold it right at the Binance listing on the perps, and then it did nothing since November. And in the meantime, I've compounded it, so I'm doing like super well on it, and I still plan to ride it way higher. I think it has the potential to go to at least $1 this cycle, to be honest. And I would be mad if I didn't play it, right? Like there was a lot of time to make insane amounts of money on Luna, and I have in the past cycle, regardless of how it ended up, right? And I do not think that Kaspa ends like Luna at all. All I said was that, you know, from the fundamental perspective, I want to just see how it does, like for the very long term, right? So let's say Kaspa is basically like, let's say, we often hear these comparisons that Kaspa is the next BTC or it's like BTC or whatever. I think I could be, right? But it's probably BTC in like 2000, 10, 11, something like that. And you want to see how it does over time when the stress tests come. It's always easy to make multiples when the market is bullish, when you have a new listing, right? But the problem with nearly anything is that essentially it ends the hype and then has a struggle moving forward into the next market. So like before I'm gonna be comfortable holding it over years to come, then I'm just going to play it as another shitcoin, right? Even though I definitely, there are some things that I like about it for sure.
I'd like to give like a fair take, just a really fair take. I like a lot of things out there. And then I guess the only thing that bothers me, maybe I can get past this at some point, right? And I'll give you the reason that some things bother me is when anything tries to be something else, right? I like originality. I don't necessarily like things that say we're trying to be a better this or we're trying to be this. Because it's like, what was your thought process behind your creation? And maybe you were inspired by something, but you should never compare yourself to something else because you're you, right? And if you're the alpha or the omega of your industry, nothing's like you. Bitcoin's not like you. Ethereum's not like you. Solana's not like you because you're you, and you are probably the best project out there. And that's always been my, like, anything that comes across like we're an ETH killer or we're a Solana killer. I instantly just like not touching it. Not touching it.
I agree
Because
with
again,
that, by the way, Will. I agree with that. I don't really like the like copycat, style improvements, but to be clear, I don't think that they're trying to claim that either. They just were, I mean, it's more of like inspiration drawn from the integrity of Bitcoin's launch,
I like that. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
and
think they're trying to be like we're a better Bitcoin, I
yeah,
haven't really heard that.
if that's the case, then I'm okay with that. I'm just saying, like, whenever I talk to anybody in the community, it's a better Bitcoin. This is just the replacement for Bitcoin. It's like, bro, are you
that,
high? Are you freaking
that's
high right
true as
now?
well. That's true as well. And as Will says, whenever you ask for the actual fundamentals, they're like, you're too stupid enough to understand the fundamentals,
I,
or the fundamentals are good. It's not up to me to
I think that the
to tell
people that
them.
say, I think that what you're seeing, and it's not disrespect on those people because they probably believe that, but I think it's a really lazy way to explain what I went on like a 10-minute rant about, explaining how there's overlap with, Bitcoin and Caspa, but Caspa is not a better Bitcoin. It's an entirely different thing. But I think them saying to you, Will, is a really sloppy, lazy way of just being like, it's a project that has an abundance of integrity. Instead of explaining why, they just go, it's a better Bitcoin because it's faster, or something like that. So it's just, you're not talking to the right people. If people are telling you that, like, they probably own like $2,000 of Caspa and are just part of like
Yeah.
like the minnow, like,
The
I
fan
heard.
club.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you got to talk to the serious
The
investors,
the
like
the
guys
the
like me
thing
that are
is,
throwing like deep six figures at it. Like, talk to Sisu, talk to me, like talk to some of these guys, like talk to Skim, talk to
that
Jim Ski Bum, man. Like guys that are really serious about it, not the
yeah.
minnows. All right.
Yeah, that's why I asked you today, Max, again, because I love to, whenever I come across an interesting idea, I want to hear it multiple times from multiple people, from multiple angles, right? I even sometimes, when I read something, I have to reread it like 3 times to get a deep understanding of it. And then so that I'm able to rephrase it to the people in a common language, right? That's why often people say like, I like your explanation because you put it out so simply. And that's because I do this and I want to understand it in the core. And one of the things, again, I have very big problem with the Kaspa community is still that when Bitcoin came along, all of the people were very friendly. They were very much like helping out anyone, right? They were like, "Hey, you do this like this, you do this," and like Bitcoin is doing this, and it's all about that, and so forth. The only thing I ever heard from the Kaspa community was, "Look at the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals?
Yes,
Nothing."
dude. It's annoying.
And
It's like,
I
dude,
do
I'm
not
asking
know.
you.
Maybe it's just like stupid part of the community, but I do not know if this is a problem or not.
I will say
Uh,
that's actually bullish because it reminds me of one community in particular that always used to
Luna.
preach
What,
fundamentals.
Hex? That's at
It was
zero right now?
Cardano, man.
Oh,
Cardano used to always preach about fundamentals against ETH, but if you ask them to actually explain it, nobody could. But
yeah,
it's bullish because ultimately it's a sign that people are um, willing to overlook certain aspects about an asset because they believe in it.
yeah,
And all that matters is that belief. And as long as the chart is
yeah.
going up, that belief is going to be there.
I mean, that's
I mean,
XRP.
I
That's all
mean,
these coins that are
Tommy,
underperforming.
that's exactly how I played the Cardano cycle. It was one of my best performing backs of the past cycle. I legit bought the entire bottom and sold the entire top on that one. One of my best plays, not gonna lie. And I did not care about it one bit. And again, this is exactly what I said. The next cycle, this cycle proved me that all it was a vaporwave. And I'm not saying that Gaspa is ADA. Okay, I'm just saying that, as you say, I also that's a good observation, Tommy, because the Cardano community kept talking about like the fundamentals. You guys don't understand why you're making fun of us, blah blah blah, right? And then this cycle, we've seen how Cardano went. And by the way, oh, never mind. But it went like we've seen what it did during this bear market, how deep it went, and there are good
Yeah.
questions whether it hits new all-time highs again. If it does, then okay, something is on, right? But it needs to undergo this stress test, as Bitcoin has, ETH has, all many other stock in the past has, and so forth. And I think there are still some worrying signs there that I want to know for the years to come. But as you say, imminently, there's insane money to be made on it, right? Just like on Cardano.
And that's what I'm thinking about, right? Like I'm not going to commit to holding anything for 5 or 10 years right here. The crypto landscape is changing too quickly. But I mean, for the next year or two, it's something I feel comfortable committing to. And just to touch on some points that you made, Jack, is like you've been hearing, I don't know, people within the Caspa community that maybe are not super helpful or polite or willing to like spend time educating or explaining their thesis. Again, I would just say I don't think it's always the squeaky wheel, right? So I don't know who these people are that you and Will have come across, but they're probably, if somebody's talking to you like that, you know, for example, if somebody came up to me and they're like, "Can you just give me like a 5-minute spiel on Caspa? I know you're really into it." I'd be like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I'd sit down and politely talk with them about it. You know, I wouldn't be like, "Dude, you won't understand. Like, just go buy it. You're an idiot if you don't already own it." I would never do that. So it's like, I don't know who these people are. They don't seem like very serious investors. I haven't come across them, and a lot of Caspa people follow me. Like a lot of my following is Caspa guys now. So I don't know who these people are. If there are
Obviously,
out
with
there
your
listening,
with your with your
I would,
fractals on Twitter, but
yeah, I would encourage you, if you're out there, don't be insect repellent for an investment that you like. If you like
I,
something and you want to talk about it, then you better be willing to explain it to people that don't know about it yet. So I don't know who these people are, but I mean, I haven't seen it yet. I think you
Well,
might be talking to the wrong people.
the people I've talked to, Max, their whole account on Twitter is built around Caspa.
That's
And it's
true.
like, how is your whole account built around Caspa and you can't explain what it does or how it works? You just say it's a better Bitcoin. You say it's Bitcoin, and that doesn't tell me
You know,
shit.
there's a
That
certain
just tells
type
me you're
of
a fork.
investor out there in crypto that they don't ever really take time to understand the fundamentals themselves. They just rely on people that they think understand it, and then
That's
just
true.
kind of like do a crappy job trying to, I don't know, like rework what that person has said, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, you might just be dealing with like the lowest common denominator, somebody that owns like $1,000 worth of Caspa because some really obscure YouTuber was like, Caspa super bullish. Here's a 5-minute video. And then that person's too lazy to like explain to you why they even like it. And they don't have serious money in it, man. Like I'm telling you right now, anybody that has serious money in something like Caspa is going to want you to understand why they do. Okay. Like,
Well,
I promise, I want you to know all about why I have the money that I have in it, you know?
No, I appreciated your take. I think like what you said, that was all fair stuff. Like you didn't give just the good, you gave the bad, which I caught on to. I always listen to everything, which is, it's for the people. Everybody has to buy in, yada yada yada. And in addition to that, the one thing you threw out that stuck to me was, that it's hard as hell to sell too. So it's got its pros and its cons. So the hardest hell to sell can be seen as bullish. It can be seen as bearish. It just all depends on how you look at it. It's a hard flip on that one to figure out which side it's on. But I'd say in an
And let me
uptrend, it's
touch
probably
on
more
that real
bullish.
quick. Let me
But
touch on that real quick, and thank you for listening to all this, Will. I think as we're approaching a new bull market, the illiquidity or the difficulty to on and offboard yourself from this asset is bullish. If Bitcoin was at 120K and Caspa was right here and it was difficult to sell still and didn't have major exchange listings, I'd say that's bearish because when the people finally do get it onto exchanges, they're going to market dump it in one clip because they're going to panic. But as we're approaching a new bull market, and I think Bitcoin's going to be in price discovery this year, I think the illiquidity of it or the difficulty to acquire to get your money in and out of it is very bullish. But again, context of that is key. But right here, I think it's bullish. 12 months from now, we'll see where the exchange listings are. It might end up being a bearish thing, but right now, I think it is absolutely bullish.
I agree. I mean, as you know, Max, I still think that this Cheeto on the door support is going to drop a little lower. But essentially, we are talking like, 10, 20% drop. And I understand that for some people, it's not worth selling, buying back lower or anything, or waiting for it at all. So I agree.
I kind of want to talk about these accumulation ranges, if you don't mind, Jack. It's just really briefly
Go.
something I've said in the past. I kind of have this thesis that we're just going to form these well, not like shallower, but probably fairly quick accumulation ranges. And I think you're seeing some of these accumulation ranges like a Caspa or a Solana that will eventually, like you said, I kind of think that a lot of these charts that are painting the exact same pattern, they will trade lower, paint that proof of 3, and that will probably be like the perfect entry. But you're getting these accumulation ranges that are becoming a part of like these increasingly steepening uptrends. Right. And so the accumulation range will probably be, I don't want to say shallow because they're shit coins, but they'll probably be from a time standpoint much quicker than accumulation ranges that we're kind of used to seeing. But because they're ultimately getting steeper and steeper within their uptrending curve, if that makes sense. But I thought somebody who was really bright, and I won't say their name on the show because it's kind of PG-13, but he was citing
Congress, an expert trader.
No. He was citing the old SNX chart. If somebody could pull up the SNX chart from like 2020, I can find the exact bit of price action that he identified. Can you get off log?
Max lives on log mode, man.
Kind of like that right there.
Yeah, right here.
either one of them honestly could end up being what we see, but I kind of think something like that, where you get these, probably more like that, the bigger one, where you have the accumulation range that happens fairly quickly over like 5 or 6 months. You get that last stab for the PO3, and then you run it back.
I see that on SNX, especially with that, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. You see that floor on SNX there on the right, reaccumulation, right, or that pullback. Above it, no, above it, there is like this, floor of support on the 3D. No, oh no.
That would have
That
sold at about $70.
That one,
About.
right? So that one, it loses the support, goes, takes out the lows, shakes people out, and then there is the continuation. This is what I'm talking about local at this Caspa, that I still see playing out. But I get it. Like, if you don't want to risk it, you want to be already in, then why not already here? If you are able to stomach this drop, then surely, unless you are.
Look at Heatman's comment.
I mean, this could happen. It's like I don't know. I mean, does it really? I wouldn't. I mean, again, for me, it's like there's actually like a difficulty to. Here, let me even just like pull up Caspa next to it. So, to a certain degree, like there is, like I mentioned, a serious difficulty to actually like getting in and out of this asset. Being in the US, it's a pain in the butt. So I don't know if I really want to risk like having to deal with it. I'd rather just hold it and commit to DCAing to it because I'm bullish long term. And I think that over the next, 6 months, 12 months, my thesis will be vindicated. And, I don't know. I mean, where are we in this? I have no idea. It's like I don't even know if you can fractal them, but
I think what Tommy's more talking about is not necessarily selling here to buy lower, but like looking for entries if you're looking for entries or adding to your bag or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we could do something like this. I don't know.
Pretty much
Those are
weekly.
two different scenarios.
A lot of the coins that ran with Bitcoin look the same, man. Like Solana, Caspa. I haven't looked at Rune, but probably looks somewhat similar.
Bro, Solana drops to like 60 or something. I'm in pretty heavy. I mean, I've been buying Solana at stupid prices. Don't get me wrong, just because I'm flipping it on its own exchange on like Magic Eden and stuff. But like, I'd like to buy some more lower so I can flip it even harder. But I've been buying around 100. I don't give a shit. There's too much money to be made over there.
Look at the weekly on Caspa and all those wick lows. That's quite insane. Right here, zoom on. Just use parallel regular mode though. You see those lows?
Like these right here, these two wicks.
Yeah.
These.
No, not two. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Well,
6, 7.
These have been taken out, right? Like they take out every week they're making a lower low, right?
No, I didn't mean the sweep. I generally mean the wicks around that price, like the zone, around around there. It's quite an absorption.
Here's where I struggle with like a much deeper pullback, right? So I look at this as, this is like your ultimate bullish ascending, like, fuck you pattern, that's the ultimate fuck you pattern. This was a crazy breakaway candle. I really struggle with the idea that we even come back here and you get that perfect retest. I don't think that perfect retest is happening at all. I could see us backfilling the wick a little bit more. So like this
that's
wick,
what I was
right?
gonna say. The wick would be where I'd be looking.
This is what I could. Here's what I could see is like from the open. Sometimes we see
the wick.
I don't even think we sweep the wick. I think you could come down to the mid range and do a 50% fill.
I would say
for sure.
Best case scenario, max probably 10-20% off the low of the wick. That's usually where I find the most confluence is 10-20% off the low of the wick. and that's usually because they won't let you get the whole thing.
I don't even know if this is going to happen here, but I think if you got this mid range, that's it. Like I don't think you're ever getting this right here. I don't think you're getting this. It's not happening. You're not getting your perfect retest. This was your breakaway candle right here on the weekly time frame, this blue. So I think maybe if you come down here, 0.09 flat, you're good. But I think this ultimately breaks up. I think it breaks up hard. I think it's going to be crazy. So we'll see.
I also do not think, and I said this multiple times, I do not think we are getting the 0.05 retest from that breakout. In my opinion, that would actually be bearish if we do. But I still do not see why we shouldn't sweep this wick low, for example. Maybe we just come very, very close to sweeping it and front run it. That's possible too. But best with these wicks is to do as if they are not there and just look at the left side of the chart. And I still, again, as I said, I gotta treat this as another regular altcoin out there.
You hit the nail on the head there, Jackus. That's what really what's been playing best for me is just look to the left, right? See where the liquidity is to the left. If the liquidity matches where you are to the left, screw the wick, screw everything that's going on in the current price area. Then you're good to go to play the liquidity to the left. So you do have support too, kind of where that wick is to the left. If you were to take a box there, Max, right where you got that pull down, the high to the low. Yep, right in there, right in there. Draw a box from the high to no, all the way to the high, all the way to the high end range there. Yep, right there. That's kind of the area you want to watch. You can see there you have a lot of confluence there, So that's what you got to kind of watch. As long as you remain above that box, you're good. If you come back into it, you could come back down to those lows. But I would say the mid range looks good too, because if you drag that channel you got there all the way to the left,
But
to the left side, the 0.5, the 1, and the 0, pull to the left. Look at where your mid range lines up. It lines up right there on top of that kind of consolidation low, where that deviation before it ripped back up.
Yeah.
So you could use that as support too. So like your
I
left
just
side
for me
there
it's
is
like
kind of showing all
I
that.
know that this is my I'm confident, man. I have studied this chart inside and out. Like this is my demand zone right here. You're right, Will, to identify like this region, just like this whole block here. This is your mega demand, okay? Like I'm pretty confident this is holding. Whether we go a little deeper into it, I don't care. This is this area down here, okay? We're gonna redraw this here. This shit right here, you're not getting down here, in my opinion. You're not getting this. You're not going to get the luxury of buying it in this blue zone right here. You get your mega demand and you'll be thankful for it. So, in my opinion, this was your breakaway, this blue right here. You had your mega bullish ascending channel, whatever you want to call this, breakaway candle, new demand formed, euphoria, retesting demand. That's it. I know that this red zone ish, and you could even drag it up a little bit, like just somewhere in here between 8 and 10.5. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with it because I think it's going to go to $1.
Well,
It's
I
like, do
think
I really want to trip over like a penny here and there on a spot bag, which is hard for me to even on ramp my fiat into when I'm within 10, 15, 20% of a potential wick low? And by the way, I think if we did go deep and did something like this, it would be another big wick. I don't even think you'd get the opportunity to buy it. I think it'd be extremely quick. Do I really want to trip over 10, 15, 20% when I think that sometime this quarter, we're going to be all the way up here? For me, no.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I get it.
I'm good.
I pulled out a Tommy here.
Oh, he pulled a Tommy. Oh my goodness.
the wick already filled that whole demand zone though. You already filled it.
I agree.
And now
I agree.
you can hit that mid range, and I think that mid range is where you bounce. That is because you have that deviation there. It looks really good.
So I agree with you, Max. And I said this many times. I think it's okay. If you are totally okay with it holding, if it drops lower, then it does make sense hodling it, right? If you are looking to get in, I think it's still good to get, especially if you are worried, you can get some portion here, some portion lower, up to you. Again, I'm going to be treating this as another altcoin out there. And I said multiple times, this level is bearish if it gets retested. I agree with you that you are not getting a retest over here. That said, when we were up here, I was saying we see lower prices. I heard no, not possible. We come back to the support, right, and we bounce. We make them feel this is the support. And what actually happens that when these scenarios start to play
Yes, we're
out,
pumping.
Oh, hell yeah.
when these when
The little
you
scout.
are on the 1 second chart, Tucker.
5.
I just love Tucker hasn't
Alright.
said anything in 35 minutes. Guys, we're pumping. Gets back on camera.
I'm watching the Agger right now.
All right, keep
Yeah.
keep going, Jackus. Keep going.
So the thing about these plans is that when they actually unfold, people forget them, right? And I try to remind them myself. And here I was saying, we come back here, we bounce off the support. People think it's a support and they will be buying. And then where's their invalidation? It's right below here. And technically, this has already played out with this week. The problem is that this week first didn't happen on all exchanges, and it was
But it happened on all exchanges except for one. So I would say that the majority it did happen. If you go down to the 5-minute chart, we actually spent some time there, by the way. Like you have to go lower time frame, but it wasn't like a weird. It actually happened. It was a real wick. Orders got filled down there.
Some, but the thing is, it just happened so quickly that you didn't have time for people to panic. It happened straight from here, so most people were not even at a computer, and suddenly you get like woof, and then you get this, and people do not have time to enough time to panic sell, and that's my problem with it. The market maker is still playing with the emotions, and as you said, the coin is not on major exchanges, and the only way to get those coins is get them from the open market. Do you think that Binance to list Caspa on spot, because they will definitely want to get all those fees? Do you think they will be, market pumping it to Valhalla just like BlackRock is? No, they will want to keep it low for a while. They will want to make the retail panic sell and so forth, right? Lots of people, most hype has been around here. And I'm still thinking where these people panic, right? Not the core guys, right? That will hold even if it goes to zero. But like some of these that bought here and are the weekends. So still everyone is right now thinking, I'm comfy. Look, I'm buying at support. My money is with the big guys and they're buying here. And the moment you get this breakdown, and okay, I'm not saying, we cannot, bottom slightly above this week, we can sweep this week, right? We can just do like, again, pretend as if it's not there. Maybe we go down here and then do like this, right? Then we sweep it and this is enough while front running this way. All of these scenarios are possible. But I do think you still need to, you want to, as an exchange, as a market maker, you want to make these people lose their positions. You want to make them capitulate. And also we have actually, if you think about it, we have a pretty decent bearish structure right here that keeps forming. We keep getting these pretty clean retests, right? Any bearish one is getting respected. We get sweeps, right? Multiple ones. Look at this one. They're just too clean. And even if I zoom in, this does not look. And it's really like, the thing is that like I'm still seeing further drop for the whole market, right? Even if I look at the mentioned Cadena, right? It's look, do you see it's a very similar pattern, right? Do we actually see this holding? I think not. I think we see like some type of this, maybe we even sweep this eye and then there's the drop. And then you want to shove in. You want to shove in the strong ones, right? At these drops. And then, in my opinion, is still Caspa. Again, I'm treating Caspa as another altcoin so far. I'm acknowledging the community, the strong fundamentals that are there, but still, just saying. But again, if we are talking that we are going all the way up here, which I think is very realistic for this cycle, if we actually, let's do this, right? Let's do. So if we are actually doing something in this, type, I think it's really, and I think this is very realistic for this cycle to come. Something in this regard. You keep making these, big push through, then consolidation, then you get another impulsive legs, then you get the sell-off, right? And then you get another one, another sell-off. So like this does make sense to me, and I get it. Like, but I'm just speaking locally for the overall alt market that I think further drop is due. Yeah.
No, that's fair. Like you make a lot of great points, and I'm not even going to argue that you're wrong because I don't know, but I can just tell you about my experience personally. As a U.S. citizen, it's very difficult for me to buy.
Gotcha.
They're
Yeah.
not going to shake me out at 8 cents. They're not going to shake me out at 9 cents. Like I'm fine buying here, and if it dips lower to 8 cents, then I'll buy my final batch. And if we lose 7 cents, 6 cents, then I'm going to lose a lot of money and get pissed off. That's where I probably am like, okay, something's wrong here. We weren't supposed to go that deep. But in my opinion, I'm fine making a big bet on it here. And if we get that PO3 like you're talking about, Jackus, which by the way, guys, could absolutely happen. I'm not planning for it. I'm not waiting around for it, but it could happen. If that does happen, then I buy more. It's that simple. Then I buy more. So we'll see. I mean, one thing I've learned is you're not going to make a lot of money fading Jackus, okay? I've learned that since I've known him. He's usually pretty fucking close, okay? He might not be perfect, but if he thinks it's going somewhere, more times than not, a lot more times than not, it does. So if he thinks it's going lower, then prepare yourself for that. It doesn't mean it has to, but more times than not, he's going to be right. But I'm just saying, for me, I'm fine. It's such a pain in the ass to buy. I live in the US. I don't have access to a lot of these exchanges that even offer it. It's a pain in the butt for me to buy it and send money to these exchanges and then get it into cold storage. It's really, really difficult. I'm not going to go through that process of trying to unload deep 6 figures of Caspa so I can buy it back 10 or 15% lower. It's just simply not going to. And that's for me. Some other people might feel differently about it, So we'll see.
Yeah, I think we should definitely ramp up the like button, guys. We have 140 people watching, and obviously some people already left, some new joined. So we should be at 140 likes, right? 140 likes. Are we at 140 likes, Max?
We're not even at 100, Jackus.
Oh no, what are we at?
Oh no.
I don't even want to say, man.
Say it.
All right, we're at 103 now. They quickly liked it. We were at 99.
105 and we turn
They were
on
like-
the Agger.
They're like, fuck.
105 for the Agger.
They were like, no, I'm not gonna listen to Max bashing me. No. Here's the
Come
like.
on
Please
now.
don't. Please don't.
They knew they were about to get it, man. They knew what was coming. They were about to get spanked, and then they quickly liked it.
Max,
Yeah.
come on now. It's Agger time, man.
Is it?
Go.
You ready?
All right, Agger time.
Go for it.
How's the volume?
It's good.
Oh no.
We're nuking.
Oh, it's over.
You said we are pumping. What's going on?
I was watching this.
That looks like a Sauron helmet.
Yeah, look at this.
That's a Bart
Yeah.
right there, man.
That's Sauron's helmet.
Tucker, I was promised new highs imminently. What's happening?
They shoved us down, man. They stuffed us at the rim 4 times.
Is it over?
No,
Oh, back.
we're gonna sweep the FOMC highs, man. If we reject the FOMC highs, I'm gonna get a little bit bearish. I'm not gonna.
What's that level at, Tommy?
Right around 43.8.
Yeah.
Let's turn on the 10-second to get more history.
Let's
Sorry.
zoom out, guys. We're gonna go to the 10-second chart.
Never mind. It won't even give me more. Oh, there we go.
If you guys want to see some chart porn today, look at YFII. 2 eyes.
Wait, what?
If you want to see some chart porn,
Right.
look at YFII.
Why? Yeah. Can you spell it to me? I'm too dumb.
YFII. So it's like YFI, but another I.
I don't have it.
don't see it.
YFII. Oh, USD. Here we go. Oh, oh! Look at this chart. It went to 0.
It went to 0.
Oh,
Oh my god.
God
what
damn
happened, dude?
rock pool.
Oh, it went to 0. Oh.
What the hell
Wow.
happened here? And it's still rugging.
Hang
Oh
on,
my
hang
God.
on.
Now we
Hang
went. Wait, we need Agar on YFII.
There's no way they have it on
Okay.
YFII.
There's no way. Yeah, there's no way.
Guys, this is very clear support. I see no problem here. This is
Yeah, no, they don't have it.
kill the FVG, then send it back down.
It's not even on Binance anymore. This is just a healthy support retest. Indeed.
That's exactly what I see, Jack. That's a great point. I see this FVG getting filled right here. We should be good, guys. Run it back. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at this. All of this is just this is healthy. It's just an inefficiency, guys. We'll run this back. Don't even worry about it. But actually, what happened here, Tommy? Do you know?
No, I don't have any clue.
I mean, it's kind of done this before, honestly.
It has. It's done the exact same pattern.
Like, look at
They-
this. Like, you might actually
yeah.
want to buy this. Like, if it accumulates here, you know.
They did it even prior to that. They always run it up then. Dumb.
Is this a cartel coin?
I don't know. Looks like
Well,
a cartel painting. Looks like TRB.
Yeah,
Dude, what happened with TRB after all that?
probably went to 0.
No, it's still trading at $113, man. Like
Jeez.
even after the rug pull, it's still up 1,000% from October.
Dude, you know what's crazy is that you just know that somebody bought a bunch of TRB like right up here.
Ooh.
Like you
On
just
leverage.
know it. You
On
know
leverage.
it.
Didn't
Yeah.
one of our most famous Twitter bulls buy TRB at some point on that pump?
Maybe. Oh yeah, you're totally right. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I mean, this is incredible scammery, man. Look at this sweep right here of all of these lows. Run it back turbo. And then take out these lows again.
That was
Wow.
the most savage price action I think I've ever seen on an intraday basis. Like,
You know what the worst part about it was is that I'm pretty sure this happened on New Year's. You know that somebody had a great 2023 and then December 31st rolls around and then this happens and they lost everything that they made in 2023 on this drop. I'm positive that happened to somebody. Like a
Imagine at
fantastic
midnight.
year. Happy New Year's. Boom. You're poor. You know.
You're poor.
Oh my
Done.
God.
why does that look like COVID run up if it nuked like crypto?
Oh shit, Tommy. Hang on. I see what you're talking about.
It looks like the COVID run up off the
Yeah.
low.
Yes,
but
it does.
nuking crypto style.
So look at this, man. This is what Tommy's talking about. Come on, load. Why won't it load? You see, this is like not loading for me. It's very annoying. Literally won't load for me. This is the most frustrating thing I've dealt with in a while.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Tucker, they're cheating us. What's going on?
You just hear that slew of noises.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right, I think it's time to wrap it up, boys. I think it's time.
Let's just leave this stream on for like a few hours.
What did you
So
think,
just leave
Tucker?
the Agar. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
just let it run for another
Yeah.
hour here with the Agar. Right? Maybe like 24 hours. Maybe like we meet up tomorrow and the Agar is still running.
Yeah.
24-hour streams.
So suddenly thousands of viewers.
What if that's the growth hack that we didn't know about?
Yeah,
On the Jagger.
we are
Oh,
here
man,
like
this
chilling
fucking
alpha
guy.
every single day, and all the people want is just fucking casino.
Oh, look who's back in the comments, Max.
I know. I was gonna say, geez, look who it is. Jeez, great time to wrap it up. All
Oh
right,
no.
let's remove that.
Oh god.
All right, guys, thanks so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. If you haven't yet, please consider liking the stream as well. And furthermore, if you are new here, this is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We are live Monday through Friday at 10:55 a.m. Eastern time with this full cast that you are looking at right here. One more thing, if you check out the first link in the description below, it will take you to becausebitcoin.com/premium, where you can check out our premium offerings. Right now, it's just a Discord, but right around the Bitcoin halving, we are launching something called BB Terminal, which is basically a Bloomberg terminal, but for crypto guys. It's our new flagship product. We are extremely proud of it. We've spent a lot of time, money, and resources developing this over multiple months, something we're very proud of. It's going to be bundled together with our Discord as well as a future Telegram alerts channel. Now, the price of the Discord is going to go up tremendously. That is to ensure the quality for the existing members does not dwindle. So if you want to get into the Discord, now is your window. All right. I would highly encourage you to try it sooner rather than later because, again, the prices are going to go up tremendously. And you're going to want to use the BB terminal. And then you're going to be like, wow, what would be really great to have with the BB terminal is a Discord membership because they're sharing so much alpha in there. They do 2 hours a day of private calls. They have active positions channels. It really elevates people's trading. And I want to be in there. It's so expensive. Why did I not jump into the Discord between now and the Bitcoin halving before prices went up like crazy? And by the way, prices are probably going up before the terminal drops, before the halving. So again, guys, I would highly recommend that you check it out sooner rather than later before the BB terminal drops. It's a fantastic experience and it will no doubt take your trading to the next level as we do over 2 hours a day of private voice calls with the entire Because Bitcoin team and community. Very limited time offer. Go check out Jackass's Twitter bio. All right, if you check out Jackass's Twitter bio, you may or may not be able to get a small discount. All right, but that's all I'm going to tell you about that. If you check out Jackass's Twitter bio, you may or may not be able to get a very small discount. All right, but that's the only offer we're going to do for right now. But yeah, I'm going to kick it over to Tommy. He can say a final farewell. But yeah, guys, great stream. Please like and subscribe if you haven't yet.
All right. Thanks, Max. And yeah, guys, happy Thursday. I felt like we had a great show today. And a reminder that we always love to have fun with each other when we're talking about charts. We'll talk about Agar. We'll have arguments in the show, everything in between. But ultimately, we have a lot of fun talking about these markets with each other. And we hope you guys enjoy the content. If you did, make sure to smash that like button on the way out if you haven't already. And of course, we will be back for another episode of Market Check again tomorrow. Start time typically around 11 a.m. Eastern time. As far as other programming, we of course have Market Talk, our flagship show on Twitter. That's a start time of around 4:15 to 4:30 Eastern time, depending on how long our Giga Chad call runs in the afternoon, but it's typically very good about starting around that time. But guys, that's pretty much all we got for you today. Hope you enjoyed the show. We covered a lot today, honestly. And I mean, I think the next few weeks are going to be really interesting, guys. I do. I know I say that a lot, but because I just love markets, quite frankly. But I do think that we are looking at some very interesting next few weeks ahead of us, and ultimately, I think the 6 or 7 month picture is very. I don't want to say interesting again. I'm trying to think of the word that I'm that I'm looking for. It's probably pretty rosy.
Exciting?
Exciting. It's very exciting, Jack. Thank you. Very, very exciting
Wow.
times ahead of us, guys. A lot of volatility ahead in the markets. I mean, I feel like we can see these trends developing both in legacy and crypto, where they are, the moves that we're getting both to the downside and to the upside are getting more ferocious, which is typically what you see before assets reach parabolic mass. So I kind of think that's where we're at right now, right? Not at parabolic mass, but at the part where, the broadening uptrend. You're going to hear me say that a lot. More and more volatility as we roll through this bull cycle. But that's all from us, guys. That's all from me. I'm rambling here a bit to end the show. I hope you guys have a fantastic end of your Thursday, a great start to your February, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks again.